In Ilaro, elders often say that advice can be given, warnings can be repeated, but a jealous heart will still choose its own path. After the prince publicly declared his intention to marry Damilola, the village believed the storm had passed. They thought the hardest part was over. They did not know that the real danger was still inside Mama Sade's house. Dara had reached a point where jealousy no longer whispered. It spoke clearly. A few days after the elders confirmed the marriage steps, Mama Sade sent Dara to fetch water in the late afternoon. Usually, Damilola would go with her. But that day, Damilola stayed back to help an elderly neighbor. Dara walked alone, but her thoughts were not calm. She kept replaying the market scene, the prince's eyes passing her, the silence of the crowd, and the new respect people suddenly showed Damilola. She felt replaced. At the stream, women were washing clothes and talking. Dara greeted them, but her voice sounded distant, even to herself. As she bent to fill her pot, she noticed an old woman sitting under a small tree, slightly away from the others. The woman looked old, but not weak. Her eyes were sharp and too observant. The old woman called her name softly. Dara. Dara froze. She did not recognize her. The woman asked why such a beautiful girl carried such a heavy heart. Dara tried to deny it, but the woman smiled as if lies were transparent. I heard, the old woman said quietly, that the prince chose the wrong sister. Dara's chest tightened. How did this stranger know? The woman leaned closer. Will you accept it quietly? That question opened something inside Dara. Words poured out. She spoke of how the village had always praised her, how everything suddenly changed, how Damilola did not deserve such attention. The old woman listened without judging. Then she said something that planted a seed. Sometimes people are chosen because they carry a mark that attracts certain destinies. If you want to stop what is happening, you must understand what makes her different. Dara asked what she meant. The old woman replied, there are paths walked at night, and there are rules that hide secrets. Watch carefully. Not everything is what it seems. Before leaving, she added one warning. Twins share more than blood. When one tries to destroy the other, the balance can turn against them both. Dara returned home with her water, but her jealousy now had direction. She was no longer just hurt. She was curious. Meanwhile, marriage preparations began quietly. Visitors came to greet Damilola, pretending they had always liked her. Damilola remained calm. She did not boast. She did not act proud. Prince Adekunle visited from time to time. He never came loudly. He spoke respectfully to Mama Sade and treated Damilola with steady attention. One evening, he asked Damilola to walk with him near the edge of the village where palm trees lined the narrow path. Mama Sade allowed it, but ensured a young boy followed at a distance, as tradition required. As they walked, the prince spoke in a simple way. I have seen many places, he said. I have seen people admired outside, but empty inside. I have also seen people mocked, yet strong in spirit. Damilola listened carefully. Then he stopped walking. If you agree to marry me, he said gently, you must respect one rule. She asked, what rule? He said, there is a path beyond the village boundary. People call it the midnight path. Sometimes I must walk it alone. No one must follow me, not even my wife. Damilola felt a chill, and he continued, it is not evil, but some things are not meant for ordinary eyes. If anyone follows me there, they may return with their body, but life may not recognize them the same way again. Damilola did not fully understand, but she sensed the seriousness in his voice. She nodded slowly. Hidden behind trees, Dara had followed them. She did not hear any word, but she saw enough. She saw the prince speak seriously. She saw Damilola's face change. She understood that a rule had been given. The old woman's words returned to her mind. Rules hide secrets. From that moment, Dara decided she would uncover whatever the prince was hiding. She convinced herself she was protecting her family from shame. Jealousy often dresses itself as concern. Now, Damilola later told Mama Shadi, her mother, about the midnight path warning. Mama Shadi was disturbed. She advised her daughter to respect the rule. Not every question needs an answer, she said quietly. Damilola agreed. She preferred peace over curiosity. But Dara did not. She began watching the prince's movements. She noticed that on some nights, he left quietly, walking toward the village boundary alone. One night, Dara covered herself with a dark wrapper and slipped out. Her heart beat fast, but her pride was stronger than her fear. She hid behind a tree near the boundary and waited. After some time, she saw him. Prince Adekunle walked calmly along the narrow path. Dara followed from a distance, careful not to step on dry leaves. As they moved further from the village, the air changed. It felt heavier. Even the insects sounded different. At some point, the prince paused and turned slightly, as if sensing something behind him. Dara pressed herself against a tree and held her breath. After a moment, he continued. Ahead, she noticed a strange clearing. The trees formed a loose circle. The ground inside looked smoother than the rest of the forest. Her body felt warning, but she stepped closer. Suddenly, the wind rose in a way that did not feel natural. It felt like something had noticed her. A whisper moved through the trees. Not loud, but clear. It said, "Not you." Dara froze. Her heart pounded. She wanted to run, but her legs felt heavy. Fear entered her fully for the first time. She turned and hurried back home, shaking. The next morning, she woke up with her chest tight. She tried to act normal, but something felt different. At the market, she greeted a woman she knew well. The woman nodded past her and greeted someone else. Dara frowned. She greeted another person, no response. At first, she thought they were being rude. But as the day continued, a strange pattern formed. People looked in her direction, but did not fully focus on her. It was as if her presence did not settle in their minds. Children ran past her without moving aside. When she spoke among a group of girls, the conversation continued as if she had not spoken. Fear replaced anger. She looked at her reflection in the water. She could see herself clearly. Nothing had changed physically, but something had shifted. Still, pride pushed her forward. She decided to return to the midnight path, believing she had simply entered it wrongly the first time. That was her second mistake. This time, she tried to reach the clearing before the prince arrived. As she stepped into the circle of trees, the ground beneath her feet felt strangely soft, though it had not rained. Her legs sank slightly. The whisper came again. "Not you, not you." She struggled to pull her feet free. Panic filled her chest. After a painful effort, she broke loose and ran. When she reached home, her palm was scraped and bleeding. By morning, the wound looked pale and dry, not swollen like a normal injury. From that day, her fading increased. People forgot to greet her. Sometimes they spoke as if she were not standing there. Once, a man looked directly at her and asked, "Who is calling me?" When she spoke his name, her heart dropped. This was no longer ordinary rejection. At home, she did not tell Mama Shadi the truth. Meanwhile, marriage preparations for Damilola grew stronger. Gifts arrived, elders visited, women praised her. The painful thing for Dara was not only that Damilola's life was rising, It was that her own life was becoming quieter in a strange way. Not peaceful quiet, but the quiet of someone fading. On the wedding day, the compound was full of music and laughter. Drummers played, women cooked, elders gathered. Damilola was dressed beautifully. She greeted everyone respectfully. Dara moved among the guests, trying to help, but tasks were taken from her hands without acknowledgement. She sat among women, but they arranged themselves without making space for her. At some point, she sat alone under a shade, watching the celebration like a stranger. For a moment, Damilola's eyes scanned the gathering as if searching for something. They passed over Dara's direction. Dara stood still. Damilola's eyes moved on, as if the space was empty. That moment broke Dara. It was not only that the village was forgetting her, it was that her own twin sister could no longer fully see her. Dara walked behind the house and cried quietly. She remembered the whisper in the forest, "Not you." After the wedding ceremony, Damilola looked around again and asked, "Where is Dara?" Mama Shade answered that she must be somewhere nearby. Damilola called her name once, then twice. Dara was standing not far away, listening. She tried to respond, but her voice felt weak, swallowed by the air. Prince Adekunle stepped beside his bride and spoke quietly. "Some people choose their road," he said, "and every road has consequences." They left the village. Life continued in Ilaro as it always does, but Dara's fading did not stop. Days passed. People stopped mentioning her name. Even close friends seemed unable to hold her clearly in their thoughts. One night, Mama Shadi woke up and found Dara's mat empty. She searched the compound. She called her name, no answer. It felt like they were searching for something they could not clearly remember. Years later, elders still tell the story differently. Some say the jealous twin wandered into the forest and never returned. Some say she became a spirit of the midnight path. But when elders warn young people about jealousy, they repeat one quiet lesson. If you step where you are warned not to step, you may return with your body, but you may not return with your place in people's minds. And in Ilaro, when someone becomes too proud and too cruel, people still whisper, "Do not become like Dara, the twin the village forgot."